Welcome to the Special Situations training video. In this video, we will discuss how to sample streams that need special protocol adaptations. Please follow along in the field protocol TR 1735-2, Appendix C on pages 85 through 92. Many stream and river systems are more complicated than those systems for which the main aquatic aim field protocol is designed. Appendix C contains several adaptations that can be made in the main protocol so that good data can still be collected. When arriving at a special situation site, this section of the field protocol should be referenced repeatedly to ensure that the site is being sampled correctly. As a reminder, to sample a field site using the Aquatic AIM protocol, a site must meet the following criteria. 5 or more transects are wadeable and safely accessible. 5 or more transects are located on BLM land. 5 or more transects have water that is not impounded. Bankful can be identified at 5 or more of the transects, and the current discharge level is below bankful. The special situations for which the protocol has been adapted are interrupted flow, side channels, beaver impacted reaches, braided systems, and partial data collection. We will focus on interrupted flow sites first. Interrupted flow sites have some portion of the reach that is dry, but 5 or more of the transects have at least standing water. If these conditions are met, the site should be sampled. When recording data at a site with interrupted flow, it is important to mark it as an interrupted flow site and record which transects are dry and which ones are wet. The entire reach is sampled at interrupted flow sites, even at the transects that are dry. Pages 85 through 86 in the protocol outline the changes that need to be made to the standard sampling methods. For example, when setting up the reach at an interrupted flow site, the distance between transects where there is no water present is measured along the center of the dry channel. In contrast, in areas that have water, transect spacing is measured along the thalweg. Another example is at interrupted flow sites, bankful and floodplain height at dry transects are measured from the deepest point in the stream channel along the transect. A common special situation that is encountered at AIM sites is the presence of side channels. A side channel diverges from the main channel, is separated from the main channel by an island, and eventually rejoins the main channel. Bankful and other critical features need to be identifiable in side channels. A protocol reminder: islands are stream sediment deposits found in the active channel that have an elevation at or above bankful and are usually vegetated with woody vegetation. Mid-channel bars are stream sediment deposits found in the active channel that are above the base flow water level, but below the bankful elevation and are usually unvegetated. Side channels are separated from the main channel by an island. Data should be collected on side channels regardless of size or presence of water. However, the side channel must be categorized as major, minor, or dry. Major side channels contain more than 15% of the overall flow of the stream. Minor side channels have less or equal to 15% of the total flow. Dry side channels are channels with no flow and include those with standing pools of water. If more than one side channel is present, data is only collected for the one with the largest bankful width. Which one of these side channels should be measured? This is the side channel that should be measured. During reach setup, side channels are flagged similarly to the main transect. To set up a side channel transect, visualize the main channel transect continuing over the island to the bank of the side channel that is closest to the main channel. Like that of the main channel and main transects, side channel transects are set up so that they are perpendicular to the thalweg in that channel. Record all side channels located on transects while working through the reach, and record whether each is a major, minor, or dry channel. Only a subset of indicators is collected on side channels. Note that the guidance given in this video on data collection for side channels differs from that on pages 86 through 88 in the field protocol. In addition to this video, please refer to the most up-to-date protocol information, which can be found in the 2019 Side Channel Supplemental Protocol. The next special situation covered in this video are beaver impacted reaches. Although beaver dams have many positive effects on aquatic systems, they can make sampling and wading sites very difficult. If more than 6 transects are inundated by beaver ponds, one should try to move point coordinates so that 5 or more transects are not impacted by the beaver ponds. If this is not possible, but 5 or more transects are wadable, follow the guidance on beaver impacted reaches in the protocol on pages 88 through 89. For example, beaver impacted reaches may affect where water quality and macroinvertebrates are taken, and may change some of the methodologies for collecting pools and bankful widths. Bankful width measurements in transects located in beaver ponds should be recorded with detailed comments. Bankful heights that are 0 should also be flagged and recorded with comments. It is important that plenty of photos are taken of all beaver impacted areas. The next special situation covered in this video are braided systems. Braided reaches typically demonstrate 2 unique traits. They possess several mid-channel bars below bankful and often do not have a dominant channel. This can make sampling somewhat challenging. The special considerations that one must make in these systems are located on pages 90 and 91 of the field protocol. In general, as much data as possible should be taken in braided systems at all transects. Record comments for all suspect or estimated values. Usually, the most difficult part of measuring a braided system is setting up the reach. To set up the reach, one must be able to identify thalwag and follow it consistently. In a braided system, the thalwag can alter periodically between channels. As one can see in this example, thalwag is not very easy to find, even from an aerial viewpoint. To set up the reach on a braided system, follow the dominant channel that remains consistent throughout the reach. In this example, what channel should be used to set up the reach? The thalwag could be here, but it's hard to tell. The technicalities of sampling braided reaches should be discussed thoroughly before, during, and after sampling. The last special situation covered in this video is partial data collection. Complete data collection should always be attempted at every aquatic AIM site. Sometimes, however, a portion of the transects may be inaccessible due to dense vegetation, property changes, dangerous rapids, or terrain features. If this is the case, inaccessible data should be estimated if possible and flagged as estimated when being recorded. All data that is missing should be noted as not collected and left blank. 0 should never be filled in as missing data. Consult page 92 in your protocol on how to collect data on reaches with inaccessible transects. Partial data may also need to be collected if there remains insufficient time to sample a reach completely and returning to the site is impossible. This may happen if access to the site is through private land and the landowners will not grant repeat access, or the site required backpacking and staying another night is not possible. However, a site can still be completely sampled at a later date if these conditions don't exist and the site was abandoned earlier because of bad weather or a long approach hike. Everything should be done within reason to return to a site that is not fully sampled to finish data collection. If returning to the site is impossible and partial data must be collected, some measurements should be prioritized over others. First, it should be determined if water quality, macroinvertebrates, and a minimum of 5 transects of physical habitat and pool dimension data can be collected. If these things cannot be collected in the time frame, no collection of data should be attempted. If these data can be collected, consult page 92 in the field protocol for more details on specific measurement prioritization. Notes should be provided about which data were and were not collected, and why the data are incomplete. Please answer the quiz questions that follow this video to review.